All right, you hear us talk about Comfrey a lot, but we have failed to bring this up in the past, so check this out. Hey friends, welcome back to the Renewed Homestead. Ben and Denise here, and we're talking about Comfrey today. And before you tune out, yeah, I've heard it. You have heard us talk about Comfrey in our garden, in our compost, and all the amazing things that this can do. Well, it does more amazing stuff that we've even talked about, so we thought we'd better bring it up. But first, our disclaimer. We are not medical professionals. We are not doctors. We do not pretend to be doctors. We don't even portray a doctor on a TV series.
Yes, we don't play one on TV.
There you go. So, that being said, before you take any of these things to heart,
this is for
advice,
educational and entertainment purposes only, because we're not doctors.
There you go. Please consult a professional person before doing any of what we are going to talk about.
Yes.
So, anyway, let's get on to Comfrey.
Yes.
It's an amazing plant.
It actually really is. And if y'all do not have this growing on your property, why? You need to be. So we've talked a lot about the fertilizer benefits of it, the benefits of the mineral uptake that we feed to our animals, but we haven't really gotten into the medical uses of this plant. Yeah. And it's just another reason why you absolutely should be growing this plant. Now, one disclaimer, there are two different kinds of comfrey. We sell the Baki number 14. It is a Russian comfrey, so it's essentially sterile. It can only propagate through root division. Reason I bring this up, there is comfrey that propagates by seed, and it can be very, very invasive. Do you want me to do that? It can be very invasive. So that is why we actually do the Russian. And we have a whole video on how to propagate that. I will actually have that show up at the end of this video if you're interested.
Make sure you wear gloves. It's prickly.
It's prickly, yes. But one of the amazing benefits of comfrey, and you're going to see it is a little prickly, but we can take off the leaves. This leaf contains something called allantoins. Now, say that 3 times fast.
Say what?
I'm surprised you didn't.
Not even going to try.
So what this does is it actually makes this a healing master. All right, so what this is going to do is it's going to basically help those cells divide and heal faster. So it's also known as knit bone. So if you have a broken bone, you can actually use comfrey. You can take the leaves, wet it, wrap it around your arm. Let's say you have a broken arm, or you can take the salve, which is typically easier and a little more comfortable because these are a little prickly.
Yeah.
And it will actually help heal broken bones, strains, sprains.
And automobiles?
Yes.
Sorry. That one I couldn't hold out.
Couldn't resist. So it's just a powerhouse at healing. And there's a lot of plants that can actually help with some discomfort. But the amazing thing with this is those allantoins are going to be able to get deep into the tissue and deep into the bone and go into other areas that there are a lot of plants that can't get to, and it's going to help heal all of that. So this is definitely something you should be growing, and you should be making salves, which we'll do in a future video, of comfrey to put in your first aid kit.
But if you don't have it growing, or you don't know how to make salves, or don't have the desire to, you can go over to Permapasture's Farm website.
They do sell the salve,
They do sell, yes, and good stuff. But
it's very good stuff.
Anyway.
Yes, and you can go to our website at renewedhomestead.com/shop and actually buy the roots. And the amazing thing with this plant, once it's planted, you won't ever have to buy it again, because you could dig up this plant and you could have 80 clones just from this one plant, because you only need about 2 inches of the root to get it to grow. So once you have it, you don't ever need to buy it again. Love Tommy toes.
All right, clearly we are in the garden. You can see our green beans. They're the one thing that are doing really, really super well. Well, besides our comfrey. But
yes.
Anyway, so comfrey also contains mucilage. And Yes, that sounds like Mucinex. Exactly. Respiratory, uh, all that good stuff. So if you've got, phlegmy, coffee, sore throat, that kind of thing, Comfrey is great for that too.
Yes, it's an amazing expectorant.
There you go. You don't want to make a hot tea out of it because that mucilage that's in it becomes very, very slimy. You're probably not going to want to drink or ingest any kind of sliminess. I know I wouldn't.
You can, but you're probably not going to want to.
I know people that would, but anyway. But the best way to do that is you just take the leaf and you soak it in water overnight, and then you strain off the leaf and drink that water to get that in your system.
Yes, otherwise known as a cold infusion.
A cold infusion.
Cold infusion, yes.
I don't want to get a cold. It's going to help me from getting a cold. Yes. But anyway, mucilage is what will help really all the way down. But yeah, it'll help your lungs and sore throat.
Yeah, it's very soothing. So that mucilage that's in this, and it's also in marshmallow and mallow, hollyhock, it's actually very soothing to your body. So if you have, inflamed lungs, if you have, a bladder infection, if you have an ulcer, you have colitis, sore throats, canker sores, all of these things, the mucilage that's in this is going to actually help soothe all of that and just help you feel better.
Soothing from top to bottom.
Right to left, left to right, top to bottom, or bottom to top.
Because technically,
it's true.
And technically, because if you have,
IBS.
a mama,
IBS
IBS too, but if that's technically true, because if you have a mama that has just given birth, a lot of times that tears down there, you can actually make a sitz bath with Comfrey, and it will actually soothe that. It's also really great to do that if you have hemorrhoids.
Let me clarify. Sitz bath, sitting in the water.
Yes.
You said that very quickly.
Oh, sitz bath.
Not the other word.
Oh, sits. Yes, no, sits bath.
We try to refrain from profanity on this channel.
Yes.
Anyway.
Let's move. All right, so Comfrey has some astringency and tannins, so it can be good for minor gut bleeding, though I think there are more useful plants, such as yarrow, that would be better for that, but you can. It also contains inulin. Now, inulin is a prebiotic. Now, it is fiber that we cannot digest, but the good bacteria, the probiotics in our gut, why do I keep feeling like you're going to do something?
I'm not doing it.
I keep feeling like he's going to do something. But it feeds the good bacteria that are in your gut. So it does contain inulin. However, there is a caveat that I want to talk about when it comes to taking Comfrey internally. So there's controversy around it, right? There have been studies that have shown that it contains alkaloids, I guess for want of a better word, that can actually damage your liver. Now, the
case study was flawed, very flawed.
Yeah, very flawed. It's very dubious. So, just for example, and you can go, I can't even believe this made it into the medical journals, to be honest. It was based off of hearsay, or that this person had liver damage already and then started taking Comfrey, but they blamed the Comfrey. It's, like I stated, it's very dubious. So, we take it internally. It actually has amazing benefits to take it internally. But what I would recommend, I would not take it if you have liver damage or kidney damage, just to be on the safe side. And then I would only take it for a short period of time. There are a lot of other plants like burdock that have a lot of other nutritive values that you can take long term. Just take Comfrey for the short term, just to be on the safe side.
Sounds about right.
Okay. All right, should we move?
No, I'm not practicing my magic. This is a yard-long bean, also known as asparagus bean. We're not real thrilled with them, but
I don't like them.
But, it's food if we needed it.
I suppose that's well.
They're very prolific.
You can tell I don't like it because I didn't pick it.
Yeah, it's gone from green to yellow to,
Something.
looks like a snake.
Something.
I don't know why she would think I was going to do something behind her.
Mm-hmm. I knew you were.
Uh-huh. One thing we did want to point out about this, look how tall this gets. We actually planted this along the edge of our garden, so it kind of created a living fence so the deer couldn't see in, and it's actually really worked really well this year. So anyway, good stuff.
All right, now you know that we give Comfrey to our livestock. As we mentioned before, it's got a very deep taproot. It brings up nutrients that other plants can't reach because it goes so far down into the soil. And it brings up those minerals, so we're able to feed that then to our rabbits or cows or sheep or goats, and they absolutely love it. Our dogs love it, the turkeys love it, the chickens love it. So
the dogs graze on it. We bring them out and they munch along.
They do, and we'll show you a picture. So as y'all know, the potato garden, or what we call the shop garden, we've gotten the potatoes out, so we let the chickens and turkeys in. The turkeys have decimated that comfrey.
But not to worry, it'll recover with no problem.
Absolutely, very hardy plant. But another use for it, it can be really great for treating mastitis and metritis in cows. Now, mastitis, as you know, is an infected teat. Metritis typically happens after birth. It's a post-birth infection of the uterus. Now, they actually have taken Comfrey tea and they have put it with propylene glycol, and they've been able to insert that directly up the teat of a cow that had mastitis, and it was cured in 2 days. So the stuff's pretty incredible.
Yeah. We're not going to try that at home.
No.
Hopefully not. Hopefully avoid that situation.
Yes.
But short of injecting it in, the salve is great too. In fact, we have used it on Dolly. After milking, to keep the teats from cracking, we put the Comfrey salve on there, and for nursing mothers too. You can use it on the teats. Human nursing mothers can use it as well, but you've got to make sure that it is washed off because you don't want to give any kind of
yeah, you want to be really careful about herbs with infants.
Yeah, but it can be very soothing.
Yes, absolutely. And another thing we talked about, the baby guineas are fighting.
Guineas are fighting over there. Hey, psst, quiet on the set. What are they doing?
I don't know. Those are the babies too.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're guineas.
There they go.
But another thing, remember we talked about it being great for healing, broken bones and sprains and strains. If you have a cut, it's also really great at healing that. So put that on topically. And we talked about contraindications with regards to possible liver damage, even though, like we said, it's, not so sure about those. Yeah, very questionable. But topically, there are no contraindications. So as long as you're not allergic to it, you shouldn't have any issues taking that or using it topically.
Yeah.
So, and I know like right now we're healing it. I've been having just some minor back and hip pain. And so he's started putting the Comfrey salve on it because I know that's going to help heal it.
Yeah. I'm going to need some Comfrey juice in my eye because the bugs keep flying right into my eye.
Well, and I'm actually glad you brought that up.
Yes, because you can use it
because you can. Yes, you can actually make a cold infusion and actually use it for strained, irritated, tired eyes. So it can actually help your eyes heal as well.
It can.
A chachka. It's kind of like a South American cucumber. If you want the cucumber taste, you need to pick them when they're small. Otherwise, if they're a little bigger, you can use them in stir fry. All right, so another benefit of Comfrey, just like it helps heal the wounds, it's also anti-inflammatory and it has analgesic properties. So it's going to help the wounds stop hurting. So it's really great for that. And like we said, because it helps heal, it has those anti-inflammatory benefits as well.
And you can see more of it growing right next to our peach tree. Shouldn't be that close to the peach tree. We thought we were giving it the right distance. Well, it's a little close because if you want to propagate it and you dig it up, well, then we risk run the risk of hurting the roots on the peach tree. So we wouldn't plant it that close again. rookie mistake. That's okay.
Yeah.
We can still chop and drop, put it right down on the ground. You know, live mulch, living mulch.
Well, yeah, and if you have fruit trees, highly recommend putting Comfrey. And what we do typically, and you can see here, we've got 2 here, and then we have Albion, which is a nitrogen fixer. But we always plant at least 2 Comfrey plants near our fruit trees, because we can just take this. And there's actually, we can take a hori knife, or Permapastures Farm has those rice knives, which are phenomenal for cutting the comfrey leaves. We cut them off, we chop and drop. We basically just let it drop on the ground, and it will break down. Not only does it act as a mulch, but it will fertilize that tree. So every fruit tree that we plant, we always put 2 comfrey plants right next to it.
Well, and depending on the timing of the season, comfrey has beautiful flowers that the pollinators love. They come to that. Well, if your tree is in bloom, there you go. So
that's a good point. It's one of the reasons we have it. Not only do we let it grow really tall in the garden to block it, but we also, I try not to cut it while it's flowering. I wait till it's done flowering to cut it back, because of how much those pollinators love it, and it's part of that ecosystem that we've created in the garden.
right. But today's lesson is our ecosystem, our internal ecosystem. Well,
Yes.
our external ecosystem too. But
external and
the
internal.
human ecosystem.
There you
we
go.
go. All right. Well, we're down here in the shop garden as we promised. This poor comfrey. That's how much the birds like it. And the only reason it still has flowers is it's taller than what the turkeys could reach. So.
Yeah, but these were full plants.
Oh,
so
you couldn't walk through here. It was full.
But that's how much the turkeys and the chickens like comfrey, and we don't mind, because they obviously need something, so that's why they're taking it.
Old salvage girl.
Hi, Ginger.
Yeah, it's Ginger. Anyway.
I know people are going to call me a crazy chicken lady because of her.
Go down to the barn. All the other chickens are fed up here. She's down in the barn with her. Here, eat out of my hand.
Well, no, she has a little bowl, but her beak, she's got a little messed up beak, so I just make sure she gets plenty to eat.
Poor
You're crazy, lady.
Chicky. I know, it's terrible. She comes out of the barn and her craw is like 4 times the size of her neck.
It is.
Isn't it?
Very much so.
Spoiled. Oh, yes.
But I'd be curious, did you all know of all the benefits of comfrey? It's an incredible plant, and the more I go through my program to become an herbalist, the more I'm in awe. And there are 10 plants that as I'm learning, I'm going to limit it to 10 plants that we're going to grow here that I'll be able to use in my practice to help us and to help the animals and others that need it. But this is one I would not be without. So you can purchase it from us. We would be appreciative, because it supports us.
The comfrey root.
The comfrey root, yes, you can purchase comfrey root from us. However, if you don't purchase it from us, definitely get some. Permapastures Farm sells it. I think it's Coe's Comfrey sells it. So there's different places, but definitely start propagating. And I would get the Russian form Backing 14, because that way it will only spread where you want it to go, and it only spreads through root division. So the seeds can't go everywhere.
Right. But us and our preparedness mindset, just in your daily life, as you think about it, what would happen? There's a lot of people on medications. What if you couldn't get those anymore? Just something to keep in mind, something to maybe have on hand, just in case.
Yes.
And again, we're not doctors, but
Yes.
there are natural alternatives to most everything.
God knew what he was doing when he designed this planet, and it is amazing the medicine and the food that are right outside your front door.
It really is.
It's pretty incredible.
It is.
Yeah. But let us know if you knew. We hoped you've learned something.
Yeah. Hit the thumbs up if you learned something, and if you didn't learn something, hit the thumbs up anyway, because you deserve a thumbs up because you stuck with this long. So anyway, do visit our website. That helps us out. The hori knives, the comfrey root, the
Willow root and hormone.
willow root hormone, and the salve, the
Deodorant. I don't have
deodorant.
the plantain salve.
I'm sorry, not the plantain
I
salve.
made plantain salve for us. Next year we will have plantain salve to sell, and I'm actually going to make a plantain comfrey salve, Because plantain, if you get an insect bite or irritation on your skin, plantain's the way to go. Excuse you.
That's, hey,
Get.
that was the guinea speaking on your behalf to tell us to wrap this thing up. So, anyway, all right, well, we do appreciate you, and we are praying for you, and we appreciate your prayers as well, and of course the comments. We love getting the comments, and like we said, this is a community, and we're helping each other. So we're learning from you while you're learning from us, and while we're learning from other folks. So anyway, as Roger Gordon used to say, go in peace and serve the Lord. We hope you're well. God bless. We'll see you all in the next video.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, everybody.